Afrexim Bank. And also here with us is the Executive Vice President, Governance, Legal and Corporate Services, Dr. George Elumbi. We welcome you, Doctor, the Executive Vice President of Afrexim Bank. Let me respectfully welcome here the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Henry. Honorable Minister, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Projects, mobilizing public and private sectors and innovating at every turn to make Africa better, stronger, and more competitive on the international stage. Then, in late 2015, our current president took up the mantle, determined to build on the foundation laid by his predecessors to accelerate intra-African trade. Our industrialization coast to coast, provide leadership in African trade finance and deliver a financially sound and high-performing bank and ultimately transform Africa's economies. He and his management team responded to the continent's needs, found resolutions through skill, partnership, and diplomacy, and stood by African nations in good times and bad. And the consequence, the number of participating nations went from 37 to 51. Afreximbank proved itself worthy of Africa's trust by supporting many African economies during the global commodity crisis of 2015 and 2016 and helping African countries deal with the impact of COVID-19 pandemic through its Pandemic Trade Impact Mitigation Facility and other COVID-19 interventions to meet the urgent need for food and medical supplies. Working in collaboration with the Africa CDC, AU Special Envoys, and other partners, Afreximbank has put in place a facility of $2 billion to support African countries in the procurement of vaccines. Afreximbank became Africa's critical partner in bringing to life the historic African Continental Free Trade Agreement. We founded the biennial Intra-Africa Trade Fair to make the unified continental market a reality. The African Trade Gateway, a digital ecosystem to leapfrog obstacles to intra-African trade, and the Intra-African Trade Champions Initiative to help African corporates win and execute deals worth over $5 billion to lead Africa's transformation. In this same period, we expanded access to trade-related infrastructure, increased support for small and medium-sized enterprises, and in just the last 2 years, the bank has financed new manufacturing capacities worth over $1 billion. Afreximbank is also helping to transform Africa's industrial landscape by financing the development of industrial parks, special economic zones, and the creation of manufacturing capacities, creating an enabling enabling environment for the smooth conduct of intra-Africa trade through the development of Africa Quality Assurance Centers in various regions, and leading the initiative to promote medical tourism within Africa by championing the construction of the Africa Medical Center of Excellence, which would directly impact approximately $20 billion annually in external payments for medical services. Afreximbank today leads the way as Africa's foremost trade finance institution. As of December 2020, we have onboarded 448 African banks, with 128 of them already participating in AFTRAF, Afreximbank's trade facilitation program. Afreximbank's trade finance related disbursements in 2020 hit $10.9 billion, narrowing Africa's trade finance gap by 13%. The lives of Africa's 1.2 billion people are being transformed steadily every day in so many ways, creating millions of jobs through our financing programs and investments in industrial infrastructure such as the Gabon Special Economic Zone Mineral Port, increasing port volumes from 1.7 metric tons to over 5.4 metric tons, improving medical care in Liberia thanks to Afreximbank's ultra-modern medical facility, and bringing hope to isolated communities in South Sudan through improved access to clean energy. Through these and many more projects, and in pursuit of our continental mission, we did not compromise on financial performance and soundness. From 2015 to 2020, our net income almost tripled from $125 million to $351 million.
Hello. Hello. AMCE, can you hear us? Hello. Hello, AMCE.
I can hear you very clearly.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, AMCE. We just want to be sure that hearing us loud and clear any moment from now.
Okay.
All right, sir. See that camera there. Can I part to the focus? Back to this, please. Sorry.
I'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Mala Mohammed Musa Bello, our landlord. We welcome the landlord here. If you like, you can call him the governor of FCT. Honorable Minister, we welcome you.
is the venue that showed this now.
We'd like to apologize for those who are not having chairs now. Extra chairs are coming. All of us will be well seated, and we'll run a very beautiful event because this is a beautiful journey that we are embarking upon.
President.
Welcome you, Your Excellency, Mr. President. Shall we all rise now for the national anthem? Thank you very much. Let's be seated, please. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the honorable ministers present here, and I'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, and Honorable Minister of Health. Let me welcome the President and Chairman of Afrexim Bank, Professor Benedict Okeorama, and other board members that are here, that are in Cairo and all over the world. I'd like to welcome their partners, the King's College Hospital, that are joining us virtually. Let me welcome all of you CEOs of corporate entities that are here. Welcome all of you patriotic Nigerians that are here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies, it is with pleasure that I welcome all of you to this groundbreaking event. But the beauty of this event is that this location is known as Kabusa, Mechanic Village. The essence of a mechanic village is to keep our cars healthy and working. But our Afrexim Bank have thought it wise to situate a health facility that is world-class to take care of a more superior vehicle, the human body. And so, Your Excellencies, it is with pleasure that I welcome you to the groundbreaking ceremony of the African Medical Center of Excellence. And in slightly 3 years from now, what we see outside as a vast land will have on it a world-class facility that will take care of both the rich and the poor. So Nigeria, and indeed Africa, we are grateful to Afrexim Bank for designing this hospital as part of your 5th strategic plan. Thank you that you are poised to help tackle the rising burden of communicable diseases. Thank you for partnering with King's College Hospital London to deliver this amazing world-class hospital. I look here and I see over 50,000 staff that work here at the point of construction. Over 3,000 people that work here delivering world-class health facility and health services. It is indeed massive. It is priceless. And like somebody said, it is gold, and gold never rusts. And so, Your Excellencies, let me welcome you with joy in my heart to this event. But to formally welcome us is a man that has spent the last 27 years of his life in Afrexim Bank, one of the finest brains in trade and economics on the continent. I love the book he wrote, Foundations of Structured Trade Finance. And he has written over 40 academic papers all over the world. He's our own, but the world's enjoying him. Please join us and welcome Professor Benedict Oke Orama, President and Chairman of the Board, to welcome all of us.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremony. Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here present, ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of the African Union, UN Economic Commission for Africa, Africa CDC, the FCFTA Secretariat, who are joining us virtually, our partners King's College Hospital, London, those of you joining virtually, our partners, our numerous advisors, architects, project management companies who are here with us, our co-investors, Bank of Industry, the National Petroleum Corporation, Africa Finance Corporation, General Electric. Executive Vice President of Afrexim Bank, distinguished colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we gather here today because you believe in the urgency of addressing the healthcare challenges Nigeria and indeed the continent of Africa faces. To mark this ceremony because you have faith in Afrexim Bank. We thank you, Mr. President, for taking decisive actions that made this ceremony and the associated project we are launching today possible. Each time I met you, and I did meet you several times on this project, I requested your support to resolve issues surrounding the project. You responded always positively and swiftly and decisively. We thank you for the trust and confidence. It is because of your support that we are here today. And we believe as we continue to count on that support, we will deliver this hospital in 30 months. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the African Medical Center of Excellence project we are launching today has strong links to a difficult personal experience of mine. In 2013, an inexplicable coincidence of healthcare events struck Afrexim Bank. A number of staff and family members fell seriously ill. I was one of them. I was so ill that I nearly died. I spent almost 9 months getting treated. I was evacuated to King's College Hospital, London, where I came under the care of Ghulam Mufti, professor of hemato-oncology at King's, and his colleagues. I'm very pleased that he's here with us on the line. It was Bernard Shaw who once wrote that God is on the side of the big battalions. In my own case, God manifested in the form of the big battalions of very competent doctors and healthcare workers, as well as excellent facilities at King's College Hospital. There was no doubt that I survived and stand before you today because I was privileged. I was also lucky. What if I didn't have Afrexim Bank to pay the thousands of pounds sterling in medical bills in faraway London? What if I didn't have a visa to enter the United Kingdom? What if there were no beds at King's or even the intensive care unit where I spent a considerable period of time? The stars might have been well aligned in that case. But must we leave a matter of life and death to chance? We thank Professor Mufti and King's College Hospital management for sharing in our view that Africa deserves better. We thank them for joining us in a project that will bring more predictability to the way we manage our health as Africans. Thank them for making it possible to turn an adversity into something that will leave a legacy for our continent. Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa has made some economic progress over the last 3 decades. With rising income comes lifestyle changes and exposure to complex, non-communicable diseases. Unfortunately, our healthcare systems and infrastructure have not kept pace with the changing needs of the African people. The consequences have been a prevalence of avoidable deaths and mass exodus of Africans to seek better medical services outside the continent. It is unacceptable that more than 300,000 Africans travel to Asia alone annually for medical services, spending over $5 billion US dollars each year. Nigeria accounts for $1 billion of that expenditure in Asia. Not only is the outflow of scarce African foreign exchange resources worrying, but the free export of African health data also poses a grave threat to continental security, particularly in this era of biological warfare and the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to generate the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today, Africa is a major exporter of human capital in the form of doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers. We use scarce resources to train these professionals, and then they leave because of limited meaningful opportunities for them to practice. We must find ways to stop this. Your Excellencies, we have all lived through the COVID-19 pandemic and are alive to the consequences of lack of preparedness for major health emergencies. The bitter lessons from the pandemic has finally taught us that the modernization of our healthcare systems is a continental emergency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we push ahead for a better continent, we must also make a concerted effort to take control of our healthcare needs. We must promote investments that enable us to deal with today's health challenges and prepare us to confront those of the future. These investments must focus on building world-class medical infrastructure equipped with modern technology, and they must also focus on advancing training and innovation. Today's ceremony is one step towards self-reliance for Africa's healthcare delivery. The 500-bed, estimated $300 million Abuja African Medical Center of Excellence is conceived to promote intra-African medical tourism and to reduce the outflow of over $7 billion in aggregate that we spend as Africans annually on medical tourism abroad. With the proper policy support, this center will propel Abuja into a hub for medical services with significantly large economic benefits, including foreign exchange earnings, as well as triggering investments in hotels, transport, and other services. I would like to emphasize that we are building more than a hospital. We are developing a center for medical services. We're developing a center that will catalyze the emergence of top-range healthcare delivery in Nigeria and indeed Africa. The project is being implemented in partnership with leading global institutions, namely King's College Hospital, London, the University of Wisconsin Teaching Hospital in the USA, and the Christie's Hospital, Manchester. It will pool world-class technology and global talents, particularly for the African diaspora, to provide a full spectrum of quality medical services in oncology, hematology, cardiology, and general healthcare services. The Abuja African Medical Center of Excellence will also serve as a leading center for research and development in medicine and clinical services, offer residency, training, and observership placement programs to physicians and medical students from Nigeria and other parts of Africa. It also serves as the largest and most diverse biobank in West Africa, enabling it to attract global and Pan-African partnerships, as well as a reference facility for all Nigerian and regional hospitals in Africa. It will operate the first ever positron emission tomography scanner in Middle Africa and house a cyclotron particle accelerator to produce isotopes for specialized imaging on the facility and for export to other facilities in Africa. The diagnostic capabilities will include genomics. At food development, the center will have a long-stay facility, an office block for consultants, a shopping facility, among others. The center will build a relationship with a network of clinics across Nigeria and other parts of Africa and support the upgrade of their services. Your Excellency, Mr. President, the journey to today's occasion started about 7 years ago. Following King College Hospital's comprehensive review of Africa's healthcare sector, sponsored by Afreximbank. The assessment and subsequent business plan led to the selection of a host country through a bidding process. Nigeria was selected as the host country for the project following a competitive bid in which Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Ghana participated. Your Excellency, Afreximbank is greatly indebted to you for the confidence in this project and the guidance you have provided. We also thank the Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and recognize the teamwork and coordination from his office. At different periods in the process, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, provided critical support that helped move the project forward. I would wish to acknowledge the efforts and the long hours spent with various government ministries, ministers, agencies, and departments, led by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Hanire, who is here with us, and the Interministerial Committee chaired by the Health Ministry. Also acknowledge the support received from the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, our landlord, Dr. Musa Bello. We thank you for giving us this beautiful piece of land. We also thank the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyama, the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry and Investment, Otumba Niyi Adebayo, for being very supportive of this project. We thank the legal teams across all the ministries, also the Attorney General's office, and other government teams who have worked with us tirelessly on this project. I thank you, Your Excellency, for the support so far received. We, like Oliver Twist, request, sir, that you continue to give us your support because the journey is just beginning. We need to do more, and as we do more, we will need further support. I will be counting on you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, to continue to support us to make sure we deliver on this project as promised. Permit me now, Your Excellencies, to recognize our partners on this project who are joining us as co-investors. The Bank of Industry, represented here by the Managing Director, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the African Finance Corporation, and General Electric. I would also like to extend our appreciation to King's College Hospital, the clinical and medical advisors to the bank led by Professor Mufti, and including Professor Onitilo Adedayo, Dr. Ahak Anwar, Dr. Tabu Azubike, and the respective Afresian bank teams that have worked tirelessly, burning the midnight oil and holding multiple consultations to ensure the success we are witnessing today. Special thanks to the African Union, the FCFTA Secretariat, Africa CDC, and the UN Economic Commission of Africa for the leadership they provided in making sure that this project went forward. All of you who left your various engagements to join us here, please accept our thanks and hands of cooperation. Look forward to see you again in about 30 months, where we will start the first in a series of commissionings of multiple projects that will stand up on this site. Thank you for your kind attention.
As he steps down, can we put our hands together one more time for him? I love the fact that he didn't shake his voice. He said, in 30 months. My prayer is that all of us that are here and those that are online will be alive to be back here for the first commissioning. Professor, thank you very much with what you're doing and your wonderful team. I love to be an African. What a continent. A continent with a land area of 30.3 million square kilometers, which is the fifth of the Earth's landmass. 720 million people that are diverse, that are bewildering, and extraordinarily dynamic. Health should not be a stumbling block to this amazing continent and our people. And thank you, Professor Ghulam Mufti, for keeping Professor Benedict Orama alive. Africa is enjoying him now, Nigeria is. He's joining us all the way from King's College Hospital. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me invite him to speak to us. Professor Ghulam Mufti, I welcome you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Osaje Hanari, Professor Benedict Orama, Dr. George Alumbi, and distinguished dignitaries. God knows how much I wish we are meeting face to face to celebrate this auspicious and groundbreaking occasion. For Professor Orama and myself, it's a uniquely satisfying feeling to see that our collective dream is unfolding into a reality. A dream that Professor Orama and I dreamt together so many years ago, following his recovery, as he said, from a potentially life-threatening blood disorder. In putting together a vision for African Medical Center of Excellence, we have prioritized tertiary clinical needs of the population with a particular emphasis in the non-communicable diseases area, which has increasingly been seen both in incidence as well as in prevalence in Nigeria and the whole of the continent. The super specialist clinical diagnostic research and educational expertise will be housed in the state-of-the-art facilities to provide a heartblood for the medical sciences in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. The 500-bedded hospital will be completed in 2 phases. The phase 1 will comprise of 170 inpatient beds that will start taking patients in just over 2 years from now, and the phase 2 will follow soon. The first phase will provide 1, Comprehensive Cardiovascular Care Center. This center will provide state-of-the-art cardiac diagnostics, imaging technologies, together with expertise for complex angioplasties and cardiothoracic surgery and other cardiovascular therapeutics. Secondly, the Comprehensive Cancer Center. This will cover all the modern equipment needs, including, as has been mentioned, a PET scan, an MRI scanner, CT scanning, and other relevant important equipments that are required for modern management of cancer. The treatment suites will be all-inclusive, such that the need to go outside the country for any treatment will, we hope, be totally eliminated. The building will also house a cyclotron unit for production of a range of isotopes for medical uses. Thirdly, the Blood Diseases Center. This will include all the facilities for autologous, allogeneic bone marrow transplants, as well as the emerging cellular therapy treatments for both malignant as well as non-malignant blood diseases, such as leukemias, lymphomas, and sickle cell disease. The center will be an exemplar for laboratory diagnosis. Our particular aim is to create a hub for molecular diagnostics that not only serves the local needs, but also the country's needs, as well as the needs of sub-Saharan Africa. For this reason, specific laboratory suites have been commissioned in order to provide these state-of-the-art laboratory services. As Professor Orama has mentioned, there will be, we think, for the first time, a comprehensive clinical trials, training, and education center. Within this AMCE, we'll create an infrastructure to provide clinical trials infrastructure, biobanking, and to attract pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies to work with the Center of Excellence, both to introduce new drugs to our unique population, but also to initiate research with other global institutions, both in Europe as well as in the United States and beyond. Our ambition and plans are to create a network of medical centers of clinical excellence throughout Africa and link these through advanced digital technologies so that the whole of the continent benefits from the extraordinary facilities and knowledge base that will be available. The AMCE vision could not be realized without our special partnership relationship with King's College Hospital in London and the Christie Cancer Hospital in Manchester. Over the last 6 years, successive chairs, chief executive officers, boards of King's College Hospital, as well as many clinicians have been pivotal in providing the direction, the support, and constant advice in shaping the AMCE. Through King's College Commercial Services, we're delighted to have signed a long-term collaborative agreement to deliver our world-class services to the population in Nigeria and beyond. In this regard, Mr. Logan Woods and his team continue to be amazingly supportive, responsible, as well as responsive to many requests that come their way from us. Similarly, Ms. Olorenti from Afrexim Bank and her team have been instrumental in ensuring that the project runs to the prescribed timelines and to her, God knows, extremely high and immaculate standards. Finally, a huge thanks to my medical advisory team, particularly Professor Deo Onitello of Marshfield Cancer Center in Wisconsin, Dr. Tegbo Ezebuki from Nigeria, Dr. Anwar ul Haq from King's College Hospital, London, and many others who have provided endless hours of intellectual input and selfless devotion to the provision of state-of-the-art care facilities for our population in Nigeria, as well as for the African subcontinent. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for taking the trouble to inaugurate our vision. Thank you.
Thank you to Professor Ghulam Mufti. We appreciate you. As we continue with this program on the groundbreaking ceremony, we continue to highlight in very bold colors the relationship between Afreximbank and King's College Hospital. Set virtually now to talk to us is the Chief Financial Officer, Lockham Woods. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me well, and my apologies for not being with you today. I would like just to start by thanking His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, President of Nigeria, Professor Benedict Orama, President of Afreximbank, Dr. Osage Ihanere, the Minister of Health of Nigeria, obviously my close colleague, Professor Ghulam Mufti, and Dr. George Elombe, Executive Vice President at Afreximbank, and also all of you, our esteemed guests and colleagues. My hearty congratulations to Afreximbank and the Federal Republic of Nigeria on establishing the African Medical Centre of Excellence in partnership with King's College Hospital London. We have been working closely, as Ghulam said, with Afreximbank and with Professor Orama over a number of years in order to bring their vision to a reality. Today marks a really important milestone in that journey, and King's is the first NHS organisation to enter into such a partnership in Nigeria. We boast nearly 2 centuries of experience in healthcare service delivery and strengthening local health systems for the benefit of all. And therefore, we are very happy to support the development of the African Medical Centre of Excellence in terms of our clinical expertise and protocols, our assurance in terms of quality, to give guidance in terms of setting up the facility, as well as helping to recruit to key posts and the provision of education and training. Some of the clinical areas in the centre will specialise in cardiology and haematology, where King's College Hospital is truly world-class. But we also will, but the hospital will also be involved in oncology. And in this area, we are working collaboratively with the Christie NHS Foundation Trust in Manchester. The Christie is the largest single site cancer centre in Europe. And therefore, this partnership brings together 2 truly outstanding NHS organisations in order to support the establishment of the facility. And our partnership is set to make a truly decisive impact on non-communicable disease care across Nigeria and West Africa, which is important to us because a large number of our 13,500 staff at King's are from Nigeria and West Africa. And we are confident that our partnership in the new facility will benefit people and communities across the region. You mentioned that this is a bold project, and indeed our new strategy, which is strong roots and global reach, is a bold strategy with a bold vision at the heart of it. We want to have truly brilliant people. We want to deliver outstanding care for our patients. We want to be leaders in research, innovation, and education right across the world. And we also want to have diversity, equality, and inclusion at the heart of everything that we do. And therefore, I make this pledge to you today. I promise that we will do everything we can to support Afrexim Bank and the Republic of Nigeria in establishing the new African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja, which has the potential to become a beacon of healthcare across West Africa, in the same way the King's College Hospital has been a beacon of healthcare for the last 200 years. Thank you.
He called it a pledge. That is binding. That is heavy. So for that pledge, can we put our hands together one more time? He will see us from London. Your Excellency, the President, honorable ministers here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Our next speaker is an asset to Nigeria. He appreciates that there are two precious assets that we don't recognize and appreciate until they are depleted, and that is time and health. With his team, he has ensured that the victims and the patients from COVID-19 is probably the least around the world. He is a hard worker. We are very grateful to have him as our Minister of Health. Please join us and welcome Dr. Osage Ohanire.
Professor Benedict Orama, President of Afrexim Bank, Afrexim Bank here present and also in Cairo. Team of King's College Hospital London, who have just given us very encouraging pledges and assurances. Traditional rulers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today is a significant landmark. Gathered to witness the groundbreaking ceremony that formally kicks off the first phase of the development of the Africa Medical Center of Excellence. Since Nigeria won the bid to host the Center of Excellence, all hands have been on deck through the Interministerial Committee to ensure that the Africa Medical Center of Excellence project is actualized in a way that is beneficial to all parties, and also in a way that will ensure sustainability in Nigeria. I see this project, which we are here today to celebrate, in the broad context, not just as an important part of the wider effort to improve health system through strategic infrastructure investment, also contributing to economic growth of the country, and all of this entirely by a non-government actor. This is because the proposed Africa Medical Center of Excellence is expected to address gaps in our health system, especially in the value chain that begins at the primary healthcare level to the very peak at what we call the super specialty section. We expect to address these gaps in the value chain and improve service delivery to the population and deliver comprehensive evidence-based disease control programs that align with our African context. We have seen the design, a purpose-built modern infrastructure, upgrade staffing, cutting-edge equipment, cutting-edge knowledge and skills, and above all, management. If there's anything that we need in this country, it is facility management. That's where we have a lot to learn. Here in Nigeria, we have many tertiary hospitals, and it is in the area of management, modern management, sustainability, that we are going to be working very closely with you to learn from your experience of over 200 years. The journey has not been easy. We've had our own challenges. We've had to align many of the provisions here with the law. And in that respect, I want to thank all the other ministries who work with us, the legal department, Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and all identify individually and collectively with this project. We have had to find solutions to all the various little barriers that we encountered through very granular negotiations that went on up to last Friday. And I believe by now we are on a good go. I want to thank all those who have found time to join us here. Shall continue to collaborate and forge greater partnership in the days ahead to work towards ensuring that this center delivers on these promises, building back better. I want to share with you our own aspirations. The COVID-19 pandemic has also been an opportunity, which has been widely recognized, to build back better on the health sector. The health sector in Nigeria requires modernization and improvement from the beginning, from primary healthcare through the secondary healthcare, tertiary healthcare, up to specialty. And it is the last two that this hospital that is now projected to come up here will be a beacon, as has been well said, for Africa. We want to use this opportunity to invite investors to follow the example of Afreximbank, who have had the faith in this country to make this investment here. We invite the private sector, the corporate sector, and all other sectors, whether mission or individuals, philanthropists, to take this step and help to also improve the infrastructure that is in the country. In the meantime, the government is growing the health system to improve financial sustainability. The National Health Insurance Scheme is about to be ready to be signed into law as a commission of its own to provide sustainable financing, while the primary healthcare is poised to build one primary healthcare center in every political ward and one functional general hospital in every local government area. Tying all of these up will be an emergency medical system and ambulance service that will facilitate the movement of patients either from their homes to a hospital or from one level of care to another care. This is something new which will be an addition to the quality of care that we're adding to what our country has to offer. I want to again appreciate Professor Orama and his team and pledge that we at the Ministry of Health will work well with you, will support you to see that at the delivery of this facility in 30 months' time, we shall be here to congratulate you again and thank God for it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the address of the President and Chairman of Afrexim Bank to that of Professor Mufti, one thing is clear, that the President of Nigeria's dedication to this project is first class. Promptness of action, commitment, and driven by the desire to have Nigerians healthier. It's therefore my honor and pleasure to welcome to address us His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Your Excellency.
Members of the Federal Executive Council, members of the diplomatic community, President and the executive members of Afrexim Bank, representatives of King's College Hospital, London, members of the business community, senior government officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to preside over the groundbreaking ceremony of the Africa Medical Center of Excellence, Abuja, Nigeria. Today represents more than just the groundbreaking ceremony for a landmark hospital project that will significantly transform the healthcare sector in West Africa. Today also demonstrates the commitment of the Nigerian government and Afrexim Bank to the well-being of the African people and the recognition that the wealth of a nation rests squarely on the health of its population. Rising cases of non-communicable diseases in Africa are well established. Cardiovascular ailments, cancers, and hematological disorders have increasingly become matters of concern to public health cases. These ailments are now the highest contributors to the non-communicable disease mortalities, representing more than 81% of all the non-communicable diseases deaths in West Africa. The World Health Organization projects that deaths on the African continent attributable to cancer and diabetes are expected to rise over the next 10 years. The rising non-communicable diseases burden coupled with inadequate medical infrastructure on the continent threaten the future of our people. Right now, many hospitals in the West African region are underfunded, under-equipped, understaffed, and relatively inaccessible to most patients, especially in rural areas. Inasmuch as this represents an opportunity for investment in African healthcare, it has not necessarily translated into increased investment activity in the most pressing area that requires intervention. This problem is further exacerbated by the significant brain drain experienced by the continent. The flight of doctors and nurses to other continents has resulted in a significant gap between the required treatments for non-communicable diseases and available treatments and care. The above challenges combine to create a regional health market with poor access to critical services and low perception of quality of care available. The government of Nigeria has partnered with AMCE Bank to develop the African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja, which will provide world-class medical services at par with the world's best hospitals. The African Medical Center of Excellence, a 500-bed specialist facility, will provide services in the areas of oncology, cardiology, and hematology, and will seek to address the significant shortage of clinical care options in the West African sub-region. In addition to providing comprehensive care across the 3 critical care areas, the African Medical Center of Excellence will offer education services to develop talent and establish itself as a world-class research center in partnership with global institutions such as King's College Hospital and Christie Hospital in the United Kingdom. The success of the African Medical Center of Excellence will pave the way for future investments and partnerships in the sector while raising the local standard of healthcare and providing a blueprint for quality of services required to address Nigeria's and Africa's healthcare and economic challenges. The Africa Medical Center of Excellence represents a return to fundamentals and the understanding that there is no African development agenda without able-bodied Africans to execute on our vision of transformation. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the AMCE Bank and partners for their unfailing commitment to the African continent and for the action-oriented approach to resolving the challenges that the African continent faces on the path to development. The African Medical Center of Excellence demonstrates that AMCE Bank is not only Africa's trade finance partner, but its development partner. I also would like to commend the Honorable Ministers of Trade and Investment, Foreign Affairs, the Federal Capital Territory, and Health for their tireless efforts to ensure that this project comes to life. This was truly a team effort. I now have the honor to perform the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the first African Medical Center of Excellence and direct the Minister of Health to cut the tape. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Father of the Nation, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Well, you heard it from him, the Honorable Minister of Health, and then supported by the FCT Minister, who's our landlord, the Minister of Industry, the Minister of Information, the partners, Bank of Industry, GE, EFC, NNPC. Those are the people that will be rising with the board of Afrexim Bank for the groundbreaking. Meanwhile, shall we all rise for the national anthem? Thank you, Mr. President. The rest of us, let's be on our seats. Let's just sit down and let those people I mentioned now step out for the groundbreaking. The President and Chairman and members of the board, the honorable ministers here, our royal father, and partners, Bank of Industry, GE, AFC, and NNPC. So please move forward for the groundbreaking.
Microphone check one. Microphone check 1 2. 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 Swatch. Yes. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2.
foundation stone for the Africa Medical Center of Excellence, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, hereby laid today by His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ehanire. May this hospital bring succor to all those who come here, and may it be completed at the estimated time, no accident, no injury, no difficulties.
No, you do. Sorry, it's your baby.
That's what I like. Well, on behalf of all the partners of this project, I would like to thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for personally gracing this occasion, laying the foundation stone, and also unveiling the plaque. We thank the honorable ministers here present, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ehanire, for performing the foundation laying ceremony on behalf of His Excellency Mr. President, and also thank all the other ministers, including our landlord, who are here to witness this event. We now know that we have good evidence that the landlord was a witness to the foundation stone being done, and the land belongs to us 100%. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, landlord. And I thank also our partners, King's College and co-investors, Bank of Industry, AFC, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and GE for joining us, as well as our consultants, the architects, project managers, clinical and medical advisors, and others who are working with us on this project. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Health, the Chairman of Afri-Exim Bank, all other distinguished personalities here. I feel very proud that we are doing this groundbreaking ceremony today. I recall a few months ago when we came to site and handed over the certificate of occupancy of this vast piece of land. It was all forested area. But today, to God be the glory, we have commenced the project proper. I assure you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, ably represented by my colleague, the Minister of Health, and also the chairman and board members of the Afri-Exim Bank, that working together, the Federal Capital Territory Administration will make sure that we give full support to this project. As a matter of fact, the road leading to this place is already under procurement for dualization. And then the main access road for now through Apo is also being constructed. All the mechanics you see along there, they are all temporary sites on the road corridor. But ultimately, the main access road to this place is Ahmadu Bello Way. Most of you who know Abuja, Ahmadu Bello Way starts from the bridge on Nnamdi Azikiwe, passing through Banex, right through the city center, by the side of the Federal Secretariat, Eagle Square, right through the FCDA, APO, and eventually it will bust out here. We'll work with other relevant agencies to see that by the time this project is done within 30 months, this particular road will also have been constructed. So this ultimately is going to be in a very unique part of town because the entire city is now developing towards what we call Abuja South. And give another few years, this will be in the center of town. And I assure you that we'll all work together to make sure that this is done. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we can do the vote of thanks.
So we'll do vote of thanks inside.
Are we now taking these partners?
Yes, let me ask.
Okay. Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please come back in. We still have a few remarks from our partners across the world, and then we'll take the vote of thanks and close. Journalists, if you can hear me outside, let them come in. You can run your interviews later. You can run your interviews later. We welcome you back in. Thank you very much. The journey of 30 months has started. But we have some of our partners that will be giving good remarks, 2 minutes apiece, and they are joining us virtually. So once we come in and settle down, we'll take them, and then we'll take the vote of thanks, and I will close. We welcome back all of you, the Honorable Minister of Health, the President and Chairman of Afrexim Bank, our royal father, all the way from Lokoja to be part of this. It takes only 2 hours or 2.5 hours for people from Lokoja to also access this facility. We welcome all of you. Some of the people, our partners that will be speaking to us are online. You're welcome back. Let me now invite Dr. John Nkesangon, Gasong, Director, Africa CDC. If you're online. How about Dr. Vera Songwe, Executive Secretary, UNECA? We'd like to also welcome here the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Health, Malam Mahmoud Maman. Permanent Secretary, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, so Dr. Raj Tajuddin, Africa CDC. Can we have you now, Dr. Raj Tajuddin?
All right. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Retired General Muhammadu Buhari, the honorable ministers who are present here today, the top government officials, and all other protocol are duly observed. I bring you greetings from the African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and to say that we are quite proud to be part of this groundbreaking event, and you can always count on our support. Just to emphasize that one of the key lessons that we have learned as far as this COVID-19 pandemic is concerned is the need for us to continue to strengthen our healthcare delivery system, especially our health institutions. And the groundbreaking event of today clearly aligns with that particular new public health order that Africa CDC continue to advocate for the continent of Africa. As the president of Afreximbank make his remark, he did mention on some of the functions that will be performed by this groundbreaking, which is the training of healthcare workforce. And this clearly aligns with the new public health order that Africa CDC continue to talk about. The president of Afreximbank also talked of the importance of research and development as one of the key functions to be performed by this groundbreaking project. That again align with building local manufacturing capacity for vaccines, for therapeutics, and for diagnostics, which the Africa CDC new public health order continue to advocate for on the continent of Africa. And last but not the least is that of respected and action-oriented partnership. And this particular project actually embodied that. So we can see different partners from across the world, across the globe, and back home, we can also see the different and the relevant sectors aligned behind the Ministry of Health to make this huge project a success. So to conclude, on behalf of Africa CDC, I would like to congratulate the president and the people of Nigeria. I also want to congratulate the president of Afreximbank, Professor Orama, and his team. I want to congratulate colleagues from King's College, and of course, all the relevant stakeholders. And for us at Africa CDC, I want to say here that you can always count on our support 100%. I thank you, the Director of Programs. Over.
Thank you. We appreciate you 100%. Thank you very much. I understand Dr. Vera Songwe, Executive Secretary, UNECA, is also online. Dr. Vera Songwe. Let me welcome here Dr. Vera Songwe. Okay, so while we are doing that, he's here with us, the Managing Director of Bank of Industry. I'd like to invite him, Mr. Luka Odekpiton, MD of Bank of Industry.
Okay.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief, the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, CFR, the honorable ministers here present, the traditional leaders here present, senior government officials, permanent secretaries, directors of agencies and ministries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am highly honored to be here today at the groundbreaking ceremony of the African Medical Center of Excellence, a project that was conceived as a result of the strategic alliance between African Export-Import Bank and King's College Hospital, London, to develop medical centers of excellence across Africa. I want to appreciate His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for the support of his government in creating an enabling environment for the growth of the Bank of Industry and other similar institutions across Nigeria, which has given us the capacity to be able to take part in such a transformational project like this, which is aligned to our mandate. We at the Bank of Industry, we are very excited to be part of this project, which will focus care on cardiovascular, oncology, and hematology, not only in Nigeria, but in the entire West African sub-region. The coronavirus pandemic has taught us that we must build capacity to cover various aspects of healthcare within the country. This will save us an estimated about $1 billion annually on what we spend on medical tourism abroad. The health industry is one of the focus areas of Bank of Industry because we believe that a healthy people will result in a healthy nation. Consequently, we have supported this sector with over 100 billion in the last 5 years. As I close, on behalf of the investors in this project, Afri-Exim Bank, Bank of Industry, GE Healthcare, NMPC, African Finance Corporation, we are pleased to be part of this transformational project that will literally transform provision of healthcare services, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa. And I pray that the dividends that will come from this project will not only be in terms of a healthy nation or continent, but in financial success of this project to enable us support similar projects. Thank you for listening.
Because I always have it in my mind that this man loves God and he's a pastor. His speech sounded more like a prayer, that this place will be successful, all of us will be healthy. So can we conjure a heavenly round of applause for Mr. Kade? Thank you very much. Thank you. My sister here just told me that the Honorable Minister of State for Health, Dr. Mamora, came here, but I didn't know. But if some of his staff are here, let him know that we love him dearly and we appreciate him. And we were inviting him tonight to the dinner, Lagos Ocean Room, to join us tonight. Let me welcome His Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General AFCTA, to also speak to us. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Good morning to everybody in Abuja. It's a pleasure for me to share with you this goodwill message from the AFCFTA Secretariat. Let me acknowledge His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, honorable ministers that are present at this event, and of course, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Afrexim Bank, Professor Benedict Orama, distinguished guests. Once again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to share with you this goodwill message. Today's groundbreaking ceremony marks the official start of the construction of the African Medical Center of Excellence. Allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate Afrexim Bank, King's College, the government of Nigeria, and other stakeholders who have made this event possible. In particular, I would like to recognize the pivotal role played by Professor Benedict Orama, my dear friend and brother, for ensuring that for his commitment and dedication and ensuring that this Center of Medical Excellence project does move forward as the first medical center of excellence to be developed across the African continent. It promises to offer a range of specialist healthcare services on the African continent, reducing the burden of disease and increasing access to public health. I'd also like to commend King's College Hospital, London, for their strong support and investment in bringing the project to this moment of fruition. The government of Nigeria deserves commendation for the key supportive role that it played, of course, in particular, the Minister of Health. COVID-19 pandemic is a powerful reminder of how critical public health is and the need for us as Africans to invest in centers of medical excellence, creating decent jobs, and ensuring that Africans have access to state-of-the-art medical technology, information, competencies to ensure the public health of Africans. As I conclude, let me once again offer strong support of the AFCFTA Secretariat to this project, to Afrexim Bank, Government of Nigeria, for making this possible. We, of course, look forward to other centers of excellence, of medical excellence being established across the African continent so that we can entrench trade in public health services. We can ensure that Africa is self-sufficient from a public health point of view. I thank you very much for the opportunity, and I wish you very successful deliberations as you continue this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Wamkele Mene. And very quickly, as we begin to round up, I want to understand that Dr. Vera Songwe, Executive Secretary, UNECA, is with us. Doctor, I welcome you to Abuja. Thank you very much. Okay, you can take it away.
Sorry, I think I was on mute. Thank you very much. Ceremony, Your Excellency, the President of Nigeria, distinguished guest excellencies. Let me start once again by saying what an honor it is to be able to be part of this distinguished, but also in many years, and think was really the beginning of a transformation on the continent, in particular in Nigeria, for better health for all, better services for all. We have worked very hard over the last few years, 2 years now it has been, fighting COVID. Afreximbank has been at the center of that fight. And I think it is without saying that they have put everything they had. But standing here today or watching you or sitting here today and seeing the groundbreaking of the African Medical Center of Excellence is really, I think, a culmination of an Africa that is now saying, we are going to take charge of our own destiny. We are going to make sure that we can provide the health services and the healthcare that we need. Providing healthcare for the continent is not just a question of doing good. It is also a business proposition. We know that the healthcare business in the next 10 years on our continent will be a $30 billion business. We know that today on our continent, most of the people spend at least 27 cents out of every dollar on healthcare. There is a lot of expenditure that is being wasted. Having a medical center of excellence like the one that we're launching today is going to be hopefully a place where we know that when we go for healthcare, particularly our women, particularly in Nigeria, we will have the right kind of healthcare. Of course, Africa cannot do it alone. We have seen with this pandemic that when one person is sick, all of us are sick. So thank you to King's College for working to realize this dream. We have been working very closely with Professor Orama and the Afreximbank team, and we have seen and watched every step of this. In 2019, together we launched the report on healthcare and economic growth in Africa that showed that Africa needed to take control of its healthcare systems, that showed that Africa was exporting 6 million jobs every year because we were not taking care of our own healthcare. Those numbers have grown since 2019, of course, because of the COVID-19 crisis. So really, launching an African Medical Center of Excellence on the continent today brings us the technology we need. We can partner, but it ensures that as Africa, we begin to take control of our own destiny, that as Africa, as West Africa in particular, we get better healthcare, we get better economics, we get better growth. And the partnership that is being launched, we know we cannot do it without partners. The Federal Republic of Nigeria, let me join Afreximbank in saying, because I know that they want more pieces of land so that we can expand this venture. Yes, we know that when COVID hit, one of our worries was we didn't have enough doctors per patient. We didn't have enough beds per patient. This is going to be a dent in that number. We hope we can do more. We hope that the private sector can come together with Afreximbank and the government of Nigeria to realize what is a groundbreaking dream for Africa. In association with the AFCFTA, of course, we hope that we can bring expertise from across the region to join in this and make sure that this dream is realized in 30 months. As Professor Orama has said about the launch of this really, really groundbreaking and amazing fit. I hope that we can all come back in 30 months. I hope we can be there in person, meaning that we are no longer fighting the scourge of COVID-19 to inaugurate the opening of this infrastructure. Once again, thanks for your attention, and I wish all of us who are working on this the best of luck.
Thank you very much. And so, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the smallest patients that will come here, the mechanic nearby, the rich man from Asokoro, on behalf of all the top people that are all Nigerians, let me say thank you to Afreximbank and all the partners that have come together to make this happen. I love the Chinese proverb that says a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step away from home. This groundbreaking is the first step away from home. In 30 months, it will be here. God will preserve our lives. We'll all come back for the commissioning. Afreximbank is inviting all of us tonight, 7 p.m., Lagos Ocean Room, Transcorp Hilton, for dinner. As we are eating good food for health, we'll just be remembering that in 30 months, we'll be here taking better care of our health. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming. All the partners, thank you very much. Afreximbank, I love you from my heart. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Okay, I understand there will be press briefing. So all the journalists and reporters in the house should please wait. If you are not a reporter, you can go, but the MC can stay if he chooses. But all the reporters, please stay in the house. But I understand there will be a group photograph with everybody from the first to the third row outside. My brother, please, this is the man that will lead us to the place. Let's look at him. He's leading us to the place of the pictures, and then we'll come back for the press briefing. Let's have the group photograph now outside, and then we'll come back for the press briefing. Honorable Minister. I understand